It is uncanny. The guy who sabotaged our government can predict the outcome.
Well, this earned an instant follow. Your video is concise and spot on. I do want to add to it, though, for everybody out there who doesn't understand the historical relevance of what has happened here. The 1976 GOP primary, where Reagan ran against Ford the incumbent who took over for the corrupt, disgraced Nixon. Reagan wanted to right the ship and get back to a Nixon-style politics, but less obvious. Gerald Ford was just terrible. But nonetheless, Gerald Ford was the incumbent, and Gerald Ford won the nomination. That didn't make Ronald Reagan very happy. Ronald Reagan began conspiring within the GOP to ensure that he would not only be the nominee in 1980, he did everything he could to make sure he was the candidate in 1980. But before we get to that, let's look at some of the economic policies and some of the tax things that were done in the last year to 18 months of Gerald Ford's presidency that set the stage for Jimmy Carter's eventual economic disastrous administration. Jimmy Carter was a good man. Not a great president, probably because he was a good man. But Jimmy Carter, it was a conservative Democrat, much like Joe Biden is a conservative Democrat. And there are a lot of similarities between where we're at today and 40 years ago. Now, we didn't have a pandemic. We'll shelve it and come back to it in a second. We did have a gas crisis very similar to what we have now. Not that there was a gas shortage going on now, but there are gas prices getting extremely high. And there are inflation issues that are very similar and mirrored to the mid-70s to around the early 80s. So looking at how Ronald Reagan conspired with the GOP, with Gerald Ford too, to lay the groundwork in economic and tax policies that would make Jimmy Carter's economy struggle and take much longer for for his administration to get on its feet. And if you look at the Carter administration, it was one thing after another between inflation, gas prices, and all of that stuff can be traced back to things that were done or not done by the previous administration deliberately to set the stage for Democratic struggle. So Ronald Reagan could spend all that time campaigning to take over in 1980. In fact, Ronald Reagan conspired and committed treason in the Iran hostage crisis, negotiating for the freeing of the hostages behind President Carter's back. Right? Reagan wasn't president when that happened. And so he wasn't brought up on treason charges. He won the election. Now imagine if Donald Trump is ripping everything out of the playbook, and Donald Trump has a foreign friend in high places that has an important prisoner. Imagine what Donald Trump might do to disenfranchise groups of voters that would normally lean left. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is dangerous. But what he's doing, it's been repeated history. If you